Hi guys, and welcome to the full and commentated version of me getting multiple mythic uniques from one Tribute of Ascendance trick run. I decided to make this video so I can elaborate on the details of how this run came to be a little bit more than my guide video. So first of all, as you can see, we're using a Tribute of Ascendance in the Kurast Undercity. Nothing really special about this. But the first important thing that has to happen is that you need to get into the cave district. All the other districts are not good for this trick. District and district, very funny. But I believe that later on it might be possible to do this with the boss of the Zikurat district as well, because she has that thing when you get a color, either blue or brown, and you can easily be one-shot by that ability as well. So we could use that to our advantage to die to that one-shot and kill the boss at the same time. So eventually Zikurat might be possible. However, now we are stuck with the cave district only. I don't think that the temple district will ever be possible, unfortunately. Next, I would like to mention that this trick is possible with all the other tributes as well, so it doesn't have to be the mythic unique one. You can get unlimited amount of Obdusite, of ancestral legendary items, or even runes with this trick if you use the correct tribute. By the way, now I'm just rambling because this part of the run isn't special at all. We're just trying to fill the blue bar as fast as possible and not run out of time. Obviously, you don't really want to die here because then you can't die as much on the boss. So that's an important thing. And as I mentioned in the previous video, we are lacking some gear because we want to be able to die on the boss. So it's a little bit more difficult. In order to be able to die on the boss, you need to lose quite a lot of ore resistance and armor as well, especially ore resistance, because I think the swirly around the boss is poison damage. So you will have to change your paragon points, you will have to change your gems, and you will have to unequip some gear pieces depending on how strong your character is currently. In addition to that, you also have to change your spec because healing really is a problem on this boss. So if your character heals too much or creates a lot of barriers, you will have to change something about that. Okay, so now we are at the boss, and again our goal is to die 2 seconds before the boss so that we will die and the boss will die at the end, and we will be able to get the loot but also respawn the boss. So in order to do that, we are planning to damage the boss and take damage at the same time. So because of our low ore resist, we are taking continuous damage, but the boss is also taking continuous damage, and at the end we die first and the boss dies a little bit later. So this is a definitely successful attempt. We get teleported out, and if you look at the minimap briefly, you can see that there's the loot there, but when we enter the boss arena, the boss will be there once again, so we can kill him. So that was one successful attempt at making this boss drop loot and still respawn after. As I mentioned in the guide video, the key is that you have some kind of damaging skill that will do damage a little bit after you cast it. In our case, it is Death Trap. So this second attempt wasn't successful because we died but the boss didn't, but fortunately because of that we can try again. The boss didn't die, so it will reset once again. As to which classes might be able to do this boss consistently, I have high hopes for Necromancers because of their damage over time spells, and well, of course you can see me do it on the Rogue. I have also tried it with 2 sorcerer specs, the Lightning Spear Sorcerer and the Blizzard Sorcerer. I chose the Blizzard one because it has the dot of Blizzard. However, I found both of these quite unreliable at killing the boss, so I don't think that sorcerers can really consistently do this boss. Well, as you can see, I'm not doing it consistently myself, but you can get much better with practice. And fortunately, practice is available, so you can come to this boss without even using a tribute. So if you just walk to the Undercity Brazier and not use any tribute and start a run, then you can get to this same boss with the same stats on Torment 4 difficulty, and you can practice it. I would like to say that this is an actually challenging and difficult fight, and a really good way of obtaining mythic uniques, rather than the one that people are using nowadays with the creating 70 alts and then grinding seasonal reputation and then deleting each alt after you got the Resplendent Spark. I would say that that one is just plain boring. At least this one requires quite a lot of skill. So this is the reason that I don't think that you would get banned for this, because people are already abusing the alt method that I mentioned previously. So now you can see that we are arriving at our second successful trick, and if you look at the minimap closely, you can see that loot is dropping on the minimap. So this means that we've gotten loot and the boss respawns as well. So this was our second successful attempt and the second time that we got loot from this boss. Spoiler alert, there's not going to be another successful trick. However, we're going to kill this boss at the end normally, and because of that we're going to get loot from this boss 3 times at the end. Now theoretically you can get 10 times the loot from this boss, because at the end your equipment will break. So that is the theoretical maximum, but you do have to be very skillful to do that and not die. I must admit I have been a little bit sloppy on many of these tries. That's because I got really excited that I can make this video after the first kill, just because tributes of Ascendance are quite rare, and also there's a 1 in 3 chance to get the caves instead of the other parts of Kurast Undercity. So I was really happy that my first try on a Tribute of Ascendance landed me in the caves, and I even managed to do the trick correctly the first try. One thing that's worth mentioning is that you always prefer you dying early than the boss dying early, because if you die early then you can try again. If the boss dies early then you can't summon the boss anymore, and you have to find another Tribute of Ascendance to try again. So you should always prioritize your death over the boss's death, not in real life of course. And this is the end of the video. At the end we managed to get 2 mythic uniques out of the 3 times that the boss has dropped loot, which I think is pretty good compared to the 1 Tribute of Ascendance that we had originally. But of course improvements can be made on this. If you enjoyed these little insights into the run, then feel free to comment, like and subscribe for the channel, and see you guys next time. Thanks!